Hi again.
Oh.
Okay, so we know that this is going to come out to be really long and we don't want you guys to be stuck. So
we wanted to give you a bathroom and a snack break.
Yeah. So what you've just seen is my Stitch 10 and 20. And now we're going to go on and do the rest of my WIP parade, which is about another 30 projects.
Right. And it's good. It's really good. You should stick around.
It's just long. So without further ado, here it is.
Here it is.
So my first one here is Blackbirds from All Through the Night. I really like All Through the Night. And this one I looked at and looked at and looked at, and finally I just decided that I was going to start it. I started it for Magical Stitches, and of course the boxes were a quick, easy way to get all of my stitches in.
Right.
And I finished that one block, and I have all the rest to fill in with birds and the verse to go in the middle. This is a piece of Silkweaver. I want to say maybe it's Wexford linen.
It's a really pretty fabric.
Thank you. I liked it, and I thought it felt like the sky out there with them. And some things I like primitive, but not. I'm not a big primitive stitcher, and I think on the natural linen, like what they show, it's a little more primitive style.
You can kind of modern things up based on your floss picks and your fabric picks.
I love for Halloween to be primitive. I mean, that just kind of fits for me.
Right.
Granted, some things are totally meant to be silly and fun and whatever, but yeah, in general, I like that.
I love this one. This is one of my favorites.
I started this because I thought I'm going to do this for the Show Me retreat last year with the vacation theme. And when I started working on it, I'm like, who am I kidding? I'm a Cancer. Right. I am not giving this away. This one is Grab Life from Hands On Designs. And again, you know me and crazy fabric. I don't know why I keep like trying to just hand you those.
That's okay.
This is Belfast 32 Coastal from Picture This Plus. First off, admire that fabric. Is that a beautiful thing?
That's so pretty.
I think that there's going to be enough of this fabric when I finish that this same thing could be stitched again on the other side. So maybe I'll know somebody who'll want this pattern.
Maybe.
This is all my conversion, I think with Vicki Clayton silks, because they're just things I had and I thought I would play and use them. And I've done I did all of the wood up there.
Right.
So now I am just about ready. I'm going to fill in behind the words here. And then I'll be on to that glorious crab.
Right. Oh, so good.
Any
I like
cool?
This one so much.
So we'll see what I finish this year. Michelle showed, I can't think which one she's doing. That's the one it's in, Keisha.
Oh, it goes in this one. Okay, I was like, this doesn't look like that.
It's got like a freebie that
I see
Lisa gave me, and yeah. Michelle showed a sampler from I want to say from Chessie and Me, and it was a house. I don't think it's this one. I think it's the other one I have. But it's funny. I'm watching Michelle's video, her WIP video, and I'm like, I went to that retreat. That was my exclusive pattern. And it's years ago, so of course it's not exclusive anymore.
Right.
This one I think is called is it in there? Does it say the White House sampler? And is it Chessie and Me? I'm really bad, huh?
Let's see.
It is Chessie and Me.
It's Chessie and Me. I see the thing. 1890 house sampler.
Oh, I knew that. That's on my list. Why didn't I open my list, Keisha?
It's okay. We'll figure it out as we go, Laura. We got this.
Look at this. That's what I have done because I love to stitch houses. We all know this. But look, all of the fussy stuff is pretty much done.
Right.
Fun thing to know about Chessie and Me. I'm going to get real close. Those windows, do you see that there are some fun stitches in them? She likes to do just little bits. You see there are straight stitches above?
Oh, interesting.
So they're rolled. She just does some fun things. And did you see the crazy bird is sideways on the tree? Look at that. So this one's great, and it's got a great big flag in it, and it will be fabulous. And I am going to take a second here and open up what? I am going to open my iPad because I know where it is on that.
All right. Sounds like a good idea.
And all of the names will be right there, and then I won't have to worry about it.
I'm having fun with a variety of different kinds of bags over here.
Oh, yeah. Keisha's looking at things going, maybe this goes in here.
I told Laura, I'm like, I'm just going to wait for your message later on that tells me, Keisha, you put everything in the wrong bag. And I'm going to have to redo all this.
It'll be fine. I'll find it all. At least they're all in one tub. I bought a new tub yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So my next one is I put 2007. It's actually 2008 Mystery Bonus Sampler. It's the one at the top.
Ooh.
From Blackbird Designs. And it came on like 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it came on 4 of their patterns because they put 2 parts in one.
Wow.
And I am on part 3. And my fabric is KC Blend. Come on, help me out. Unfold. 35 count from R&R Reproductions. I am doing them all as one piece.
Wow.
You have the option to do them all separate and stitch them together at the end. And if you guys are seeing a great big thread in the middle of the piece, it's because I'm not done with it and it's hanging loose on the back. But I finished the first 2. I'm in the middle of the third one, which has a
great big house.
Great big house. It's the only one with the house, but look at all the blackbirds.
Oh, wow.
Which we know I like blackbirds,
I
right?
almost said you didn't do your thing where you change your letters of the alphabet, but they're just a really subtle difference.
Yes, they're very, and good noticing. Yeah. So I did. Can you see it?
It's so subtle. From back whenever she was holding it further away, I couldn't see it. But you can kind of see that the B, the J, K, and L are all just a little bit lighter.
And it's really bright today. It's supposed to get to like 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, 60
60,
what?
I think it's 65 or 67. I can't remember.
Wow.
They were talking about the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. And so we've been hearing about the forecast in Miami. And they're like, yeah, in Kansas City, we're going to have about the same weather that they have in Miami today. So, isn't that weird?
It's so February. Crazy. When Brendan was little, I was heavier into scrapbooking, and I can remember we had a beautiful day like this, maybe even a little warmer in February, and my page is a big 2-page layout, and it's just called Bonus Day, and I used all sorts of chalk and stuff. We went to the park, to Penguin Park.
Oh, I love Penguin Park.
Penguin Park, you guys, is this fun place where there are big animals, and the big one in the center is a penguin. Yeah. And they have slides and they have swings and things on the animals.
Yeah, there's a big elephant slide. There's a big kangaroo that you can climb up into. Oh, it's fun. I always take my niece there whenever she comes to visit. And
there's other equipment there too, and it's really fun. And now they have, I mean, it's been there since I was a kid. So, like, and before. So it is really a long-term park. Now they have water fountains that are penguins,
that are penguins.
And they're holding a bowl for you.
It's fun. It's fun.
Cute. Kids are like excited about it.
Right. Yeah, we always take Lucy there. Like the day that we're leaving to go back home, that's our last stop. Is she gets to go to Penguin Park.
Oh, and you wear her out so that she'll sleep in the car.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a 3-hour drive.
That's a great plan. You're going to do fine as a mom. Okay, I keep giving Keisha my little tips.
Yes.
You know, little things like don't keep a quiet house. Yeah. You want your child to sleep through everything. That's my latest tip for her.
Right.
So,
which I looked at my husband after I got this piece of advice and I was like, yep, you need to keep it a loud house. My husband is pretty much the quietest person I know. So I'm the loud one.
So my next one, I think we just showed you these. It's Boobies, Apiary. Haha, Boobies. We have to do that for myself. Yeah. From Artist Design.
Yes.
And this is what I have done. Boop. Even though this isn't one of my 10 in 20, I want this done this year. It's way too stinking cute to not be finished. I love this. And you know, because of the way that it is, maybe it would make just a cute bell pull type thing.
It really would, since
which
it's
would be
kind of
finishing.
A longer sort of pattern.
And you know what? If I put felt on the back, then I could do like a hem stitch around the edge or blanket stitch around the edge. And it would look really kind of rusticy and cute with that.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be a fancy one like
Right.
that cute frame, but I think it would be really cute.
Yeah,
And my
it's
fabric is more rusticy
Mhm.
anyway. Okay, then one of my lovely, lovely favorites. They're all my favorites, so yeah. Oh, and look, my Boobies is in my bag that Judy made me with fabric that Katie and I sourced, and bees inside.
See those?
I love that one.
Yeah, this is a cute bag.
That's I love that fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we called ours "Save the Bees." So with all of the push with bees and uh, saving their habitats and everything,
Right.
you know, and it sold, and sold, and we sourced fabric because we could not keep the fabric in.
Oh.
So, and the last time that we got it, people were finally kind of trickling off. And then all of a sudden, they all went.
Oh, really?
So, and every time we got some, we would send Michelle a sleeve and say, hey, auction this. And she said the auctions on them went so well. So that was good. We like when you guys do that. We need to come up with something to send her again. So the next one I have is from Homespun Sampler. Now, this is one that I don't know that I hear very often, Homespun Sampler, because it's usually Homespun Elegance that, you know, but it's the Celtic band sampler. I actually found this, let me get it even closer. I actually found this pattern at Picture This Plus on Super Bowl Sunday one year. And while I was there, and it's when they were in Junction City instead of Abilene. While I was there, there was another lady who said, "Oh yeah, I bought that," and I'm kitting mine all up in overdyes because it's charted in DMC. DMC is lovely. I wanted mine to have more of an antique feel, so I played with it, and I have chosen some overdyed flosses. And I want you to see that I already put the year on this. And what is that year? Well, 2013. Yeah. So I'm not changing that. That was the year that I worked on it a lot. What am I up to? What letter is?
That looks...
Oh, it's a 6? No, it's the 4.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good thing you didn't move, since it also has the county that you stitched.
Yeah. So, but this piece of fabric is from Picture This Plus, bought that day. I really love it. This one, oh, I'm telling you wrong. This is from Silk Weaver, and it's a solo.
Oh, okay.
But really, really old, rusticy looking.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
So, there's that one. You know what? I don't think... Yeah, no, I haven't yet. I marked some of these as struggle pieces, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. In What You Stitchin', we have some opportunities to, what did we call it? Push that WIP?
Push that project.
Push that project, doggone it.
You're the one who came up with the name,
Katie
Laura.
tells me that all the time. Mom, you came up with that. Why don't you remember? I did mark this as one of my struggle projects. It's on here with a little heart that indicates that it's a struggle.
That's a nice way to indicate a struggle.
It is a black heart. But anyway, this is a beautiful, beautiful piece. Look at that. Yeah. I love it.
It's so pretty.
And I am stitching this. It's Cotillion from Papillon Creations. I am stitching this on a piece. This one is Picture This Plus because it has the thing in here. And I don't have the tag. Maybe it's in the package, maybe not. But this is what I have done. This is what I have done. And it was a bit of a struggle for me to get it. But what I think is the reason is that it's on really dark linen. And Keisha and I were talking a little bit beforehand. And I have... my lamp has an extra arm on it with a little light that will come down and hang right over my stitching.
Oh, you wrote what it was.
Oh, 32 count Twilight Belfast. Cool. Thank you. And I think that sitting under that, I'll see this better. And I mean, I love how my start looks on this.
It looks really good. I like the colors on that.
Wherever he went, there he is.
Yeah. Yeah, those colors are really nice.
I think it'll be pretty. And it's my conversion. Are those Vicki Clayton's? Yes, Hand-Dyed Fibers by Vicki Clayton. So mine is nothing that's called for. It's just, it said light pink and I chose light pink. So.
Sorry for all the crinkles, guys.
You're going to have lots. It sounds good. It makes you excited, right? It always makes me think, what's coming next?
Well, except for mine are the putting away crinkles.
So the next one that I have is flower boxes from the Drawn Thread. This one I just love. I love how delicate it is.
That's really pretty.
Drawn Thread does some of the prettiest flowers I've ever seen. And this piece of linen is just beautiful. Just a beautiful, simple one. And I have this much of a start. That's it. So I did part of the center box. I didn't even fill in the color yet. Right. And you can kind of see, well, part of this floss, most of this floss is just on my needle. Do you see it on my needle now? Yep. So it won't show in the other spots. But there are all sorts of fun little stitches in this.
I was looking at that on the pattern.
Drawn Thread does fabulous things. And the floss that I'm using for this, I think it was charted in silks. And I ended up, while I was at the old mill for a stitch night, the ladies there helped me choose colors and we converted it.
Fun.
So I bet the tag for my fabric's on there too.
Probably so.
Then the next one is a series from Shepherd's Bush. I just call them the flower samplers. This one happens to be buttercups, but there are 8 of these. And I discovered this morning when I was pulling this out that my lovely husband has spilled on more things. That man is going to be lucky if I let him survive, because he's really, he's doing it. You see those stains top and bottom? I have stitched 3 of these. They're not in that bag, thankfully, or they would have had it, but all of my other pieces of linen have even bigger stains than these. This is my start on buttercups, and I technically will be able to get rid of all of that, but I probably need to wash all of the fabric.
Well, luckily, you cut your pieces big enough that it's just kind of on the edges there.
I bought a huge piece of fabric and they cut it all apart for me when I got it.
Oh, that's nice.
That's that one. And then the next one I have, I'm getting ahead, huh? I'm doing great.
Going as fast as I can go.
Garden Fair from the Courtney collection. I have another Courtney collection, or I think maybe my other one is, I won't think who it is. I have another red sampler that I would like to work on, and I decided I needed to finish this lovely one that I already have started before I do something else. This goes in the outside pocket.
Oh, okay.
And then the fabric will go inside.
Okay.
So I have this very stiff natural linen, and this is what I have done. And it could be that maybe I started at the top, and this is what I have done. I'll have to look at it more closely when I get started again. But either way, the corners are the same.
Right.
And wow, from the feel of that, I don't know if I'm using silk or if I'm using... That was some nice floss.
See if I can get to it.
It kind of looks like it too in the bag.
Yeah.
I bet that what I have is from Carrie, and that it's stuff that I just bought from her. Carrie's threads, and she's not dying anymore, which is kind of a sad thing.
Yep, it's Carrie's.
Yep. And oh, they're so lovely to work with. I am really trying hard not to start any more Rosewood Manors until I finish at least one of these, because I have a couple in here. So my first one is Green on Green.
Oh, I love this one.
Oh, me too. Thank you. And this one, this I believe also is a Carrie's threads.
It is.
And it's a silk. And Magical Stitches helped me out, and I have this much done. And I actually, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I actually chose a a darker green fabric than what they show. Okay, wait. Are we up there?
Yep. We're here.
And I finished this box this year and a whole bunch of this.
Yeah, I remember you working on this a lot at Panera because I kept telling you how much I liked your floss and this fabric. Green is my favorite.
Well, then I may know where this pattern goes when I'm finished, right? I'm getting close to the point where I will be finished with all the motifs, and then I will just have alphabet.
Oh, yeah.
So I am a bottom right stitcher if I can do that.
Right.
So, okay. Now the piece that I started because of Magical Stitches is Halloween Quaker from Lila's studio. And you guys have seen this over and over. I believe it called for murky.
Yes.
Okay. That's not what I used.
I need to I have that in my stash.
Do you?
To start, and I need to start it. But I have a lot of other things to work on, so maybe not. So
this is really funny because at this point, I believe I have, only three needles going in this. This is Marshmallow Fudge Wexford Linen from Silk Weaver. Am I on camera?
Yeah,
okay.
You're on there, good.
And Marshmallow Fudge comes in all of their fabrics and looks a little bit different in each one. But I just liked the combination of colors and how pretty it looked. This is one of this is Nancy's favorite fabric. And I don't know if she normally gets like an even weave with it, but hers usually looks way different. And the Wexford linen, maybe it soaks up more too.
Maybe so. Yeah, because I know sometimes ththings are a little less vivid on even weave.
Well, and linen does dye better, but I think that Wexford linen may be even a little extra.
Oh, really?
It's a real dense, and actually this one is a real rough fabric. This is another one I need to turn that light on.
Oh,
and I think
really?
I'll do better.
I know you said that you kind of struggled with this fabric a little bit.
But, I stitched all over the place to make things fit.
Right.
We're going to hope that I counted right. And if not, we're going to fudge.
Fudge.
Oh, no.
Unnecessary. Sorry,
so
guys.
Now I will probably finish up from the bottom up. And so it'll be easier to kind of fill in. Right. I already saw one error that I hadn't seen at all until I pulled it out yesterday. The next one I have is The Language of Love, which would have been marked as a struggle project because I could not get this going. Look at that. It says love in several different languages there. I love this one. I keep saying love. Yeah. This is a beautiful piece of fabric, I believe from Silk Weaver. And during the challenges, we had to work on something that was maybe a challenge, a struggle, and we had to explain why it was. And after we stitched on it for a certain amount of time or certain number of stitches, we needed to talk about how we felt. Well, I made it all the way to the end with part of that border. And what was causing me fits is that I wanted to get everything done as I went. And I've just told you that I like to start from the bottom right. Well, I started over here at the top left. And that totally threw off my game.
Right, yeah.
So I made my way around that border, and every heart filled in up in here is a specialty stitch, which is so fun. And I kept wanting to get like the words in here, but I stitched from right to left, and I didn't want to go the other way across. Was that Tiger or Bella? Oh, that was Bella. So this one is not marked as a struggle project anymore because I think I'm okay with it.
I would like to tell you guys that I had to move this tub because it was starting to get too heavy and I was afraid it was going to topple over. And I put several bags upside down.
That's fine.
That's what you get. That's the kind of work you get from me.
That's okay. When I ask you to just, when I ask you last minute to shove everything in my project hub. So this project has been sitting and not getting finished. It's Moonlit Garden from Blackbird Designs, and it's been sitting because for some reason it got stuck in with my Christmas garden.
Oh.
And that's just not a place where it would get done.
Right.
I am not going to put the verse on this. In fact, to encourage myself not to put the verse on this, I cut the fabric off. and I am stitching just the center. And I know that I got off somewhere, but for the life of me now, it is not showing up. So I finished filling in this house, and I will get the rest of this in. It may be the moon that was causing me fits. So I will finish filling in this. I evidently was working on the pumpkin last time. And I'll do the other flower and then finish off the...
You don't have a lot left.
No. This is another one of those that's like, I really like that. This is Morning Song by Lavender Lace. This has long been one of my favorite pieces. I just think that's beautiful. And I know it's the 80s designing and all that, and I just don't care.
That's okay. Like what you like. There are no rules to this.
And I used this one for Magical Stitches, and we needed to stitch 100 stitches. I think it was 100 in 9 3 or 975.
934.
Did we have to stitch 900? But was it 100 stitches?
I think it was maybe 300. I can't remember what it was, but I just remember it was 934 because platform 9 3/4.
So I found every little 934 stitch that I could and put them all in. And I came up 7 stitches short, and so I wouldn't count it because that's who I am.
Right.
I mean, it's really funny because I know that I stitch way more on a lot of other things, but it just would never occur to me to just cheat.
Right.
I didn't get there, so I didn't get there. Now, this did not make my stitch 10 and 20 because that background is all confetti.
Oh, yeah.
And I really, this is marked as a struggle piece. It's beautiful. I love it. This fabric is apple blossom linen. I believe from Witchelt, and it is one of my very favorite linens. It's not quite pink. It's got a little bit of peachy tone in it, and I love it. Yes. But I just know that this would make me unsuccessful.
Right.
And I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to take it easy on myself. I was trying to make it realistic.
Yeah. You also don't want to become discouraged.
Yes. So...
because then you just won't get any progress at all.
Then I have this project. Now I have this because Nancy won the giveaway that she had, that T.A. Smith had, to name this design. And Nancy came up with that name, Motif Musings. That's a beautiful one, right? Keisha knows this, but you guys don't know this. Let me show you. So... this is what I have done. You can see this. I'm all on, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is not all the fabric. This is half of the fabric. I mean, like, look, I'm clear behind Keisha. Wow. I'm not even showing you.
Right.
Here's the end. I mean, it's like longer than the two of us.
Right.
It's twice as long. That was folded in half at the beginning. But I love this. And I am using... a Threadworks on this. That's what that little one goes with. That, you know, I had that one piece. It's fine. Here it is.
Okay.
I'm using a Threadworks overdyed floss, and I'm really kind of just letting it go where it lands. Oh, but the trick on this one, and if you stitch this one, think about it. It's really cute right here, and I had to get rid of this. It actually spells, where'd it go? Hair. I can't find the H. Here's the H. And it goes up and over that motif. You see that it says H-A-R-E going over, jumping over. Here it is. And it jumps. I got to go the opposite way. Okay, I can do this from here. H-A-R-E. I can see it from the back. So, you know me, JKLB. I have changed where the letters are, and they interrupt hair because I already had the B in over here before I thought about it. So I reworked it, and we're going to have our letters, and the J is already up there. So the A and R in hair for me are now the K and the L. And then I have to remember to change them when I get further over. So, come on, flip back, you crazy thing. These are alphabetical because I have them in my spreadsheet. Next, I have a couple that Mr. Landis spilled on, and I have washed them and decided that these are okay. So this one is called Green Tree from Carriage House Samplings. I maybe don't like their, I know you like green, but I maybe don't like their green with this one because it kind of affected how this looked. So I liked it anyway. There's my itty bitty start.
Oh, cute.
This was from Mania a couple years ago, and this is just a miscellaneous mystery blue linen that was in my stash, a thicker thing. And where the fabric is stained is way out in a border that I won't even get close to. So it's going to be fine. I'll cut it off and I'll go with it. But I would like this to see some progress this year. Yeah. And the other one in that bag, oh look, the guacamole's in the middle of this. So 2 of these go in the same way.
Okay.
I'm going to show you the inside of my chart. You're not going to be able to get this. Look at where he got that.
Oh no.
That man. And here's the outside where he got that. So this one is Spring Flower Sampler, Sadie Stewart from Sam Sarah Design Studio. And I really, really liked this. It looks like there was another one. Look, the Acorn Sampler got done on brown.
Oh, wow.
I may have to find that, huh?
Yeah.
And it is on this gorgeous purple, which now is really, really wrinkly because I have washed it and it was stained like right in the middle. And I think it had kind of gotten a floss and everything washed out on this. So it is ready to go. And I can't smell my soap anymore. I just used my Dawn dishwashing liquid because that's what they always say.
Nice.
So then I have Strawberry Town. All of a sudden I'm up to S. Oh, because Green Tree went with the Spring Flower with the S's. Okay. Strawberry Town by Kathy Barrick, which was also one of my Mania starts. That was my year of strawberries. I did Strawberry Fields Forever that year.
I really like this one.
It's really cute. I am using Jade Cashel from Picture This Plus, and I have my own crazy conversion with what kinds of threads? They're all wildflowers from Karen Collection. So I have some crazy colors that are just going to work. And I chose colors that will be close. But, oh, and here's my tip. I started with this border down here. And as I was going along and counting, so I left every 10th one uncrossed. But also, when I counted far enough over, I put the stitch, the bottom center stitch of the heart on there.
Oh.
And I've since gone back and added more.
Yeah.
But I put that bottom stitch in because then I didn't have to go back and figure it out when I filled them in.
That's a good idea.
So that's a tip for you. Look at what you're doing, and if you can plan something like that where it's all the same color, then do it. I just need to fill in all my little houses, but I was kind of doing all of this
all the
outline first. Then I did not mark this as a struggle. This is just a sit down and get busy on it. So if I finish Brendan's stocking, maybe this is next.
Okay.
Years and years and years ago, my family bought me the Toy Gatherer from Shepherd's Bush. And years and years and years ago, my friend Debbie Dewey agreed to do a stitch along with me on this. And she finished hers. I didn't even get this much done because I've done work on this since. This goes this way. I have the sled on his back, part of his pants, and part of I have his cape. I think what slows me down with this is that there are a lot of beads and things. That's what all these holes are. And so there's a lot of counting to get things in.
Right, counting around.
Yes. And, I should just put a beading needle, pull the beading. I'm sure there's a beading needle in there because it was a kit. And I should just bead it as I go, and then I don't have to worry about it. And then I'll have pretty things on it.
That's one of the advantages to stitching in hand is you can go ahead and start your beads early. If you do in a hoop or a Q-snap, you really have to wait until the end because you don't want to crush your beads.
Right. And if you don't know that, you will crush your beads. You guys have seen this one recently, and I use this for magical stitches. This is Tribal Hippo. Our screen went dark. I know it was fine for you guys. Tribal Hippo by White Willow Stitching. I saw Stephanie doing this, Pam and Steph, Just Keep Stitching. And she talked about Fiona, and I had been reading about Fiona. And I actually already had this in my stash because I thought it was such a fun pattern.
Yeah, I like this.
So doesn't this look like the other half of the Tempest that we saw?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it. And I have this year, I can't remember what I pulled him out for.
It was for the Stitch With Me.
Yes.
For your Stitch With Me.
But I pulled him out and got, or her, because I think mine is Fiona also. I got her the outline of her face on there and her eyes. So now she's looking at me. Mm-hmm. Is she flippin' adorable?
I love this.
And the little music notes, all the little fun things in it. I just think it's cool. So that one is cute. Then, okay, I have marked this as a struggle. This is 2 B's and ABCs by Rosewood Manor. And it's one that Nancy and I chose to do to start as a stitch along. And some of you lovely people have stitched yours and finished, and yours are so gorgeous. I was just struggling with this. Maybe it's my fabric, maybe, I don't know. But I have gone back and put guide stitches so that I know, that's one thing I can tell you. When you're looking at this, not everything goes all the way to the edge. Oh. And so my friend Sue Wild puts 2 outer borders and a center border, guide stitches.
Yeah, that's smart.
And I hadn't thought about putting the center stitches in, but I'm just pulling mine down as I go along. Mm-hmm. Well, now my center is marked and I can do this. Right. We'll see how I do. So I have noticed I have an error in mine. And again, not sure if I'm fixing that or not. We'll see. I may just leave it. I kind of like quirks in my things.
Personalization.
That's it. One of my most fun stitches. Oh. This is called Uber Egg.
I love that.
So theirs is just on a natural background. Well, I have a whole bunch of pearl cottons because that's what Katie learned to stitch with. Mm-hmm. And she let me have a piece of her beautiful Tula from Picture This Plus. And I am using whatever threads I came across. So like my little chick is crazy colored. It doesn't have eyes yet. And all my flosses are going to be pretty on this. You know I love lavender. Can you tell how pretty lavender is?
Just look at all those colors in there.
Isn't that gorgeous? It's like sherbet. So fun. And that, I really should kind of keep that handy because it would be a great tired eyes project.
It really would be.
So, great big huge needle so you can hold on easily.
Good travel project too.
Then I have this, Use What Talents You Possess. This is from All Through the Night, another lovely, lovely project from them. And it says, use what talents you possess. The woods would be silent if no birds sang there except those that sang best. And I don't have a huge start on this. I do have part of the center done. And again, on lavender linen. Mm-hmm. So I have, I don't know if I had to tweak anything or not. I think we looked and all the colors looked fine. Mm-hmm. This is Fabrics by Stephanie.
Oh, okay.
Because I was at Heart's Desire and they had some laying out and I thought, nice. I just need to kit that up on lavender. Right. Then another one of my struggle projects. I ended up, you guys, only choosing 4 projects that were struggles. And this one is Hearts and Flowers, the Violet Sampler from the Drawn Thread. Now I'm going to get in because darn is that pretty.
Yeah, that's a really nice one.
I think there is a verse down there. But see, I can't even see it on the model. Oh, now fades the last of winter snow, and thick by ashen roots the violets grow. Oh. So, very pretty. And I actually got this from someone. This was a discontinued pattern. And this person sent me the linen along with the pattern. And I believe I bought all the silks to do this. Look at this, you guys.
Wow.
But that's all chain stitch all the way through there. The centers of these, that's another specialty stitch. Right. This was really hard to see. Nancy and I used to go to the library, and I would take it there and work on it because with the light table, I could sit, you can tell looking through it, I could sit and work on it there, but this was really tedious, and I think it goes down. I think it's the border on all four sides.
One thing that helps me with my Black Ada projects is to put like an iPad or my phone and just have it like keep the light on, so then you just have a light behind it too, so you can see the holes a little bit better.
Which would really help, yeah. But that, I think the prospect of doing 3 more sides and 2 of them longer than what I've already done,
right,
with that chain stitch is like, I don't want to. Okay, so then I have winter samplers from the Prairie Schooler, and I'm working on the one that says winter over on this side. And I'm crazy, so I have changed mine. And this is what I am doing. It's only this big.
I really like the white on that fabric.
So this is, I got a long piece of fabric from Silk Weaver. I think this is like 13 or 14 inches wide. And it was long, like 36 inches. So I realized that every sampler would fit. Now, I don't have a ton of room.
Right.
But I don't plan to do a big thing, and I can always sew fabric onto that.
Right.
And then my very last one, you've made it, you guys.
You made it.
Is Ye Old Crow Sampler.
I love this one.
From Heart and Hand. And I started this one last year during Magical Stitches. And look, it has a crow because, of course, crows, ravens. I'm a Ravenclaw.
This is maybe the biggest Ziploc bag I've ever seen.
You can buy those like Target carries those
really?
for sure. Yeah.
I was just like, I was gonna put it in and I was like, oh.
It just keeps going. Yeah. They're really nice. If you don't, if you need some cheaper project bags and you want some room, they're so wide and yeah, they're great.
Anyway, sorry about that. It was just started to cover me completely.
And this, I can't think what color linen I'm using on this. I know it's from Picture This Plus. Lava?
I think it's lava.
And it's not Prank. I know that because Prank is bright. So I think it's lava. And I have this much done. And you can see my floss is in the way there. But I'm really liking this.
Yeah, I really like this one.
And I did in the fall put some more in on that because I went crazy when we were doing the 13 starts of Halloween.
Yeah.
13 doesn't seem like a lot, but I was done. I'm like,
you're doing one almost every 2 days. That's a lot.
There are like 11 that I didn't show you. So I showed you about 41 projects. That was a lot. Yeah. That's not all my WIPs. We'd have been here till next week.
Right.
And Keisha's seen, I still have some stuff out that I was looking through, and like I have a big bag that's Halloween stuff and has a lot of the pieces that I started, which we did Halloween on the 31st. And I decided I'm just going to leave those in that bag. And that's why I pulled out Midnight Ride. It was the first one that I came to, and I thought, oh yeah, I would love to stitch on that.
Yeah.
So that's what I did for that one. And I also have a bag of Christmas that I keep together, and I have a bag of patriotic things because sometimes I like to just be in the season, and it's easier for me to have a bag full of things that I can just pull from. So
yeah, definitely.
And while I did my stash dive, Katie sat in here on the floor last night with all of her stuff and went through it. She has decided this is the year of Halloween for her because she has a bunch of Halloween patterns that she's in love with. She did a thing that was crazy to me last night. She unkitted all of her stuff.
Oh, really?
If it wasn't started.
Uh-huh.
She unkitted them. And I'm like, why? And she said, well, you know, I did that years ago and I see things differently now. So I just wanted to change it.
Yeah. Well, and if you have things that have been kitted up for a long time that you know you're not going to start, and you can use that stuff in one that you want to start now, why not?
Yep. That is it. And I know we did this in 3 parts because I'm going to edit this and cut off part of it and start again.
Right. So I'll have the regular stuff, part 1 of Laura's Wood Parade and part 2 of Laura's Wood Parade.
Because there's just that much.
Right.
It's like, what did you tell me? You did 21, right?
I did 21.
So I did almost twice as many as you did. In fact, I know I did because I showed some things that ended up not even being in there. So, okay. That's the end.
Thanks for sticking around.
Bye.